Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Saturday Show. You see what my topic is. It's been a while since I've done the Saturday Show. I'm glad that everybody could join me this evening. Let me get my other headset in here. I'm hoping everybody had a great day. Well, let me take it out because that's getting agitated. So I have a bunch of announcements to get to before I get started. Let's get this party started by hitting that subscribe button. Subscribing allows me to grow from the 380 that I'm at to the 1000 that I hope to reach. It is September, so I seem to be stuck at 380. So if you haven't subscribed already, please hit, smash, obliterate, destroy that subscribe button. Subscribing is literally free of charge. Doesn't cost you a thing to do. And yes, I have on a mini blanket because it's a little cold. And yes, I am drinking water. But it's not super cold, and that's only because my throat is itchy. But subscribing literally costs you nothing. Hit that subscribe button. You can always support me on Patreon. Patreon allows me to pay for StreamYard. It allows me to pay for lights. I did have a light that finally said, hey, it's quit time. And the one that I want to buy costs like $200, which I wish I had. But I am going to be at the end of this show talking about some things I have in mind for 2026 that will play a huge part in my Patreon. But remember, you can support from $2 a month all the way up to $35 a month. Please consider supporting me at Patreon. And if you haven't already, I'm not doing a giveaway this week in terms of my merchandise store, but I will be doing a giveaway next week. I will definitely be giving away a t-shirt next week, but you can visit the official merchandise store. Right now it's just hoodies and t-shirts. There's not a lot of traffic there, so any of those monies also goes to pay for streaming and Zoom and a whole bunch of other things. But please consider visiting the merchandise store. As always, I invite you to join my mailing list. Still doing the newsletter every 15th of the month, but nobody signed up to be a part of that. So you can always go to that website right there, sign up for the mailing list, and you'll get a copy via email once per month. And as always, help us to get 75 likes and 45 shares. If you are if you are watching, please comment so I can shout you out. So far, there's no comments here, so I'm gonna start. So I wanted to do this show because this was a really big fad of the 70s and 80s, maybe early 90s. The early 90s also, where if there was a celebrity and like the celebrity had mass appeal to children for some reason, they always seemed to get their own cartoon. Like it seemed like every celebrity back in the day had their own cartoon. And some of them I had to like really think about them like, oh yeah, that person did, such as Bill Cosby. Now I know what you're gonna say about Bill Cosby, but let's not talk about that. But Bill Cosby had his own cartoon. It was called Fat Albert. It wasn't, and he was actually in it. He would do like the cartoon, then he would come in live action, and then they would go back to the cartoon. So he was one of the ones that I like grew up with because I'm a big, huge Fat Albert fan. Yeah, huge, big Fat Albert fan. I know, but yeah, Bill Cosby had his own cartoon, and it was called, of course, Fat Albert. It was about these kids, and they hung out at the junkyard. And I'm trying not to use my phone, so I'm trying to just do this from memory. So if I say something wrong, just correct me, because I realize, oh, that's kind of tacky to just kind of look down at your phone all the time. But they hung out in this junkyard and they would have like adventures and they would help people. And apparently they didn't have any parents because you never saw them. But there was, of course, Fat Albert, Rudy, that one that had the shell, like the one with the towel around his head, mush mush mouth. Um, he had that cap over his face. All you could see is like his eyes. It was like a cap over his head, and all you could see was like his eyes and lips. I think that was mush mush. They also had a cartoon within a cartoon. Um, the green, no. The brown hornet was a cartoon within a cartoon. That was special. So the the Bill Cosby cartoon Fat Albert was like the first one I remember, like big time. That was the first celebrity that had the cartoon that I could remember. I think the Beatles had a cartoon. I'm pretty sure it was either the Beatles or the Monkees had a cartoon, and I can't remember which one. So somebody in the comment section is going to have to help me. Was it the Beatles or was it the Monkees that had a cartoon? I'm almost certain that it was the Beatles that had the cartoon. But I know the Jackson 5 had a cartoon. I know the Jackson 5 had a cartoon. So even though that was made in like their, no, that was actually made in the 70s. Yeah, that was actually made in the early part of the 70s, but it was on syndication, so I saw it in the 80s. And of course, you all know the members of the Jackson 5. But this one, it was kind of different because when the Jackson 5 were discovered, they were, of course, living in Gary, Indiana, and they moved to Los Angeles, California. Cartoon said no. They were actually in the cartoon living in Gary, Indiana. So they would tour worldwide and for some reason come back home to Gary, Indiana. And of course, the actors that did their voices weren't like their speaking voices weren't the Jackson 5. Of course, they would, the singing part, that was a Jackson 5, but the speaking, those were actors. And my guess is, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to have to, they probably weren't black. And I'm not saying, well, you could tell a black person just by how they sound. But I'm like, oh, I don't think them actors doing their voices were black. But obviously, the singing was definitely them. So Jackson 5 had their own cartoon. I don't think Vanilla Ice had his own cartoon. I know MC Hammer had a cartoon that was in the 90s. He had Hammerman. And let me tell you about Hammerman. So Hammerman, MC Light. MC Hammer played. I think he actually did the voice. He was a superhero that got his powers from a pair of shoes. Yeah, it was that bad. I think it lasted like 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes. It just was not good, but he had his own cartoon. Um and then so I would go, Hammer Man, Hammer Man, Hammer. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Um, but I think the shoes gave him superpowers. But it didn't stay on that long. I know Roseanne Barr had a cartoon. Yeah, I know. I'm like, who would have thought to give Roseanne? I think it was called Rosie's Kid. See, I'm trying to do this by memory because I don't want to go to my phone because I'm always like doing this and that doesn't. I can't just like look at the camera and do it. I wish I had like 2 screens to like jump over and just be like, okay, and then I'm still looking, but I don't. Um Yes, Rude by way MC, like, subscribe, share, comment. Um, yeah, so Hammerman, I mean Roseanne Barr had her own cartoon, but was it called Rosie's Kids? It was like she was in either kindergarten or preschool, and she would have like these little, it was kind of like the Muppet Babies, kind of where they would just have, like, she would go off into her imagination and have adventures there. I don't know if Roseanne voiced Roseanne, right? I don't know if they got a different actor to do it. I know it didn't last very long, but I do remember Roseanne Barr having a cartoon. I also vaguely remember the John Candy cartoon. I'm almost certain it was called Candy's Kids. I think that's what it was called. Um, and he was a camp counselor, and like a bunch of kids would come to camp, and they would just sing Camp Candy. Either the cartoon was called Camp Candy or Candy Kids. It had candy in the title. That's all I can remember. That cartoon stayed on for a good 2 years. And for a cartoon, that's like a long time, right? That's really a long time. I'm sorry, my leg is cramping up, so I'm kind of giving it a massage here. Um, he was a camp counselor in, I forget, well, obviously, I wonder, was he John Candy in the cartoon, or was he John somebody else in the cartoon? That's the only thing that's tripping me up, because I'm like, okay, um, oh, I just want to just jump on my phone and just do this, but I don't want to do it because it's making me mad. But yeah, it was either called Candy Kids or John Camp's Candy Camp or something. It had candy in it. Like I said, I know it had candy in the title. Who else had their? Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget the Mr. T cartoon? Let me tell you something about awesomeness. Um, I'm going to tell you this when I come back, because I want to play a special commercial, and then I'll be right back. Um, yeah, I'm going to play this commercial now, and then another portion of another play the commercial a little bit later. But do want to take time out for this commercial break. It'll be about 10, maybe 15 seconds.
Hey everyone, if you enjoy our content, consider supporting us on Patreon at TRACYMedia Fans for exclusive perks and to help us keep creating.
See, I told you that was going to be short. But anyway, Mr. T had this cartoon. And remember, this was like 84, 85, or 86. And Mr. T was on a show called The A-Team. And the A-Team, yeah, because I got to tell you, the A-Team was this show about 4 men that escaped the army, and they would go around doing good deeds for people by being ran or being chased down by the military. Well, Mr. T was the breakout star. And Mr. T had this, I don't want to say affinity, but he was really about making children, like he was really good with children. For some reason, we really loved Mr. T as a kid. So somebody thought, gee, let's give Mr. T his own cartoon. Great. So first challenge, who's going to do the voice of Mr. T? Well, nobody can do the voice of Mr. T except for Mr. T. Keep in mind this, he had script supervision. So when the scripts are written, he would either approve or disapprove the scripts. He often came up with plot lines. Like, he was really involved in this cartoon. Here comes the problem. He played a manager slash truck driver slash security guard for a gymnastics team. Tell me what's wrong with that. This makes no sense. I know Mr. T was active with the kids, and he wrote a song called Mama, talking about respect your mother, which that's an important message and everything. But to be a truck driver slash security guard, oh, and they solved mysteries. That was the other thing. They solved mysteries. So he would drive this truck. No, he would drive a bus. He would drive a bus, and it was full of gymnastic stars. I don't know who thought of this plot. I don't know who sat here and said, you know what? Yeah, yeah. Let's get Mr. T to drive a bus for a gymnastic team that solves mysteries. And then they had the lady, the adult, like it was only 2 adults and like 15 kids, but okay, oh well, whatever. So they had the adult lady. She wasn't the coach. You never saw like their coach, their trainer. When you have athletes, they get injuries sometimes, and those had to be treated. Nope, didn't see that. You just saw Mr. T, the other adult lady, and that dog, and plus all the other kids. What were they doing? What were they doing? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Who sat here and thought, yeah, that's what we gonna do? Mr. T cartoon. And of course, like I said, who was voicing this? You knew that there would be nobody else that kids would accept. And we watched it. I think it lasted like a year and a half. Um, and the theme song was "Oh, Mr. T," dun, 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 and then they would do all these flips. Now you never saw Mr. T compete, of course, but and I don't think he ever said "I pity the fool" either. I don't think he ever said "I pity the fool" in the cartoon. Um, yeah, just that was just one of the strange ones. Um, Another strange one, and this one has 3 celebrities, kind of. Um, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson. So Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky. Bo Jackson playing baseball, Michael Jordan playing basketball, and although Bo Jackson played 2 sports, but we're gonna just say in the cartoon he played baseball, Jordan played basketball, and Wayne Gretzky played hockey. What was that cartoon called? Was it called All Stars or Rock Stars? Or yeah, I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to break my rule because now I'm sitting here like, what was that cartoon with Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson? Hold on. Okay. What was the name of the Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky's? What was the name of the Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, Gretzky cartoon? Mm-mm. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. What was the name of the Wayne Gretzky Michael Jordan cartoon? Why is everything moving so slow today? It's like not even coming up fast. I'm going to have to get on my computer. Pro Stars. Oh my goodness, Pro Stars. That's what it was called. Pro Stars. Um, Now, of course, none of them did their own voices because they were busy either training for their respective sports. But they did have live action. So each of them, like none of the 3 of them never appeared in a live action segment together. It'd be like one of them each, right? They never appeared. It wasn't like Wayne Gretzky was hanging out with Michael Jordan. It's like, yeah, hey, look, eat cereal or whatever. Um, um they used, well, now I'm here, they used sport themed gadgets such as Gretzky's boomerang hockey pucks, Jordan's basketball equipment to aid them in their missions, although we don't know what Bo Jackson used apparently. And I don't know how long this cartoon lasted. I hate when this does this. Why does this move so slow? It's like, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, but this one was really strange. It was really, really, really strange. Sorry, y'all, but my throat is itchy. I know I got on a shoulder blanket because it's like 56 degrees, but I'm not going to turn the heat on because, nope. Mm-mm. I just worked down a huge heating bill too. Nope. Y'all just had to deal with me having on this blanket. Um, Let me take out this because this is just not. Um, Let me just. Yeah, Pro Stars. That's what it was called. Um. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about this one. So the I'm gonna get this tight. I'm not even gonna go to my phone because okay. So um there was a cartoon called it was called Rockin' Wrestling, or what's it called? Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, or WWE's Rockin' Wrestling. Oh no, it was called Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. So it had like Hulk Hogan, um, Roddy Piper, Junkyard Dog, um, the Russian guy, and they would just have like these like adventures. I forgot all about. I think I watched like maybe 4 or 5 episodes. I didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just like by the time that show came on, let's see, I had to be, well, I was 11, so I was still a child. And it stayed on for 3 years. No, I'm sorry, it came on in September 14th, 1985, and it stayed on 2 years until June, well, a year and a half, June 1987. Um, and of course, none of the wrestlers actually did their own voices. They had voices like Brad Garrett, Everybody Loves Raymond, um, Louis Arquette, James Avery, Shredder, um, wait a minute. Yeah, James Avery, um, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Um, and let's see, I'm trying to think. Trying to think. Um, Trying to think. Who else was on there? But there was a bunch of wrestlers on there, and they would just have like wrestling matches. Um, the Slammies. So okay, yeah, I'm going off kilter here, but oh well. So the WWF, and that's what I'm calling it. I know there's the World Wildlife Federation, but oh well, I'm a kid of the '80s. So the World Wrestling Federation, or the WWF, had these awards called the Slammies, and they had the good guys versus the bad guys. And before turning to racism, where racism was his key, Hulk Hogan was considered one of the good guys, Andre the Giant, the bad guy, etc., etc. So they would play off of that in the cartoon. Um, yep. So um, that was a thing, and I'm trying to think of, and it's another cartoon that I'm thinking of, and I'm really trying to think of what celebrities had a cartoon, and it's like throwing me. Um, I'm trying to think here. I'm not going to talk about the Scooby Doo series because that had celebrities on there, but they didn't have like their own shows. Um, oh my goodness, this is my. I know y'all help me out here. I know I'm forgetting about somebody. Let's see. I'm just looking on my screen to see if I can find this list. Okay, why is this taking so long to load? Oh gosh, this literally was working earlier. It just was just zooming by. Maybe let me do it this way. It might be quicker to do it this way. And put in your own choices. Okay. How did I forget about the Gary Coleman show? I literally forgot about the Gary Coleman show. So in the 80s, yes, another show, the 80s. So Different Strokes, first few years was a great phenomenon. Then, of course, as Arnold got older, the show got really stupid, adding in the stupid mother and then her stupid son, Sam. But anyway, Gary Coleman was obviously the breakout star. So they gave him his own cartoon. Now, the cartoon was not based off of Different Strokes. It was just Gary Coleman. So there was no Willis, there was no Kimberly, there was no Mr. Drummond, there was no Mrs. Gary. It was just Gary Coleman, except for he was an angel. Yes, he was an angel that was sent to Earth to help kids, not adults for some reason, but he was supposed to help kids. Yes, the Gary Coleman show. I forgot all about that. And the show was um Roseanne Arnold or Roseanne Barr was called Little Rosie. Um I never watched Chuck Norris Karate Commandos because him and that Sylvester Stallone cartoon were just like the same to me, and I just never thought that I would just like sit here and watch it. Um, um, wait a minute, Marilyn Monroe had no. Here's one that I never saw, but apparently, wait a minute. I Am the Greatest. The Adventures of Muhammad Ali. Never watched it, can't talk about it, but apparently Muhammad Ali had his own cartoon. I'm having a hard time believing that one because I can't. Okay, let's just say it's true. Did Muhammad Ali do the voice of, and the show's called I Am the Greatest? Who would sit here and think, okay, so I Am the Greatest? We're never that surprised when someone else provides the voices for the busy celebrities because they don't have a lot of time to do this. But if you're the greatest, you can't be replaced. Muhammad Ali actually did voice work as himself, as his PR agent, who was also a character in the series. The show also gets credit for being one of the first cartoon series that featured a black cast in a positive way. But but I got, is this real? I, the Osmonds had a cartoon. Um, I didn't. I know they did. No. Wow. I cannot believe that Muhammad Ali had a cartoon. A cartoon? And I know I'm forgetting one. Wait a minute. What was that? I'm gonna go take a step back. John. Okay, so the John Candy cartoon was called Camp Candy. Um, and he did um the voice himself, and it was only on for third. But I thought this show, I mean, it wasn't the greatest cartoon I ever saw, but it was like decent. It's a fictional camp ran by John Candy. 26 episodes of this series between 1989 and 1990. It came on NBC. Uh, oh my goodness. Who else had a cartoon? Because I said Hammer Man, Hammer Man, Hammer. We're not. Okay. I'm trying to think of one. I know I'm forgetting. I know I'm going to talk about Louis Anderson. Okay, so look, that's the one I was thinking of. So Louis Anderson had a cartoon. Um, and the Gary Coleman show. That's what I meant to call it. It was based off of the kid with the broken halo. Yeah, there was actually a movie that I'm not sure if Gary Coleman was in. Um, oh yeah, Gary Coleman was in the movie. Okay, never mind. So the Chuck Norris cartoon I said I wouldn't discuss. Hammer Man, Hammer, Hammer Man, Hammer. Bruno the Kid. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Bruno. I got to read this because this is they just giving any celebrity a cartoon. Big spies come in small packages in the Bruce Willis story in an adventure cartoon, Bruno the Kid. Willis voiced the character of Bruno, a small child who uses his computer animated version of an adult who looks like Willis to operate in it as an elite spy. Okay, I never this. Gee, it only lasted 1 year, 1996 to 1997. Gee, I wonder why. What? Life with Louie. Yes. Okay, so this one actually lasted a long time. It started in 1994 and it ended in 1998. Stand-up comedian Louis Anderson maybe was an unlikely choice to star in his own cartoon, but Life with Louie ended up in a bright spot in our 1990s cartoons lineup. Sponsored, inspired by Anderson's childhood, the cartoon followed the life of an 8-year-old of Anderson as he grew up in the fictional town of Cedar Knoll, Wisconsin. The series tackled real life issues. People who grew up in the era of Fox Kids Saturday was no doubt recommended. Yeah, it was a really good cartoon. It was a really good cartoon. I didn't realize it stayed on that long though. Macaulay Culkin. Okay, so let me, because this one, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin, Richie Rich, Macaulay Culkin. I can't think of any other movies that he's played in. He starred in a show called Wish Kid. Um, and he had this baseball bat. No, he had this baseball glove. Let me backtrack. He had this baseball glove, and he would punch into it. Um, And when he punched into it, it would give him anything he wished for. And usually that meant he wished for something he couldn't handle, blah, 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 learned a lesson. I think it only lasted like a year, because I cannot believe this show was ever made. I don't understand. I'm glad this isn't done anymore. Hold on a second. Let me get back to this screen. I get at the time when they were doing it, the person was a big celebrity, so they wanted to cash in on. But some of these people weren't, like, because cartoons in the 70s, 80s, and 90s were for kids, right? It wasn't like adults were sitting down and, hey, let's watch The Simpsons in year 98. It wasn't like that. So I'm not sure, like, I can see Mr. T getting his own cartoon because he was really popular with kids. But Rosie O'Donnell, Roseanne Barr? I don't understand how Roseanne Barr could get her own cartoon. That doesn't make any sense. Like, her character was, she was so gruffy. Like, you have to have, like, Louis Anderson. Okay, I wouldn't have thought about having a cartoon with him in it. But, like, once I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. He's an 8-year-old. But there is one cartoon that I really enjoyed. And before I get to it, I'm going to play my Patreon commercial again, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk about 2026.
Hey everyone, if you enjoy our content, consider supporting us on Patreon at TRACYMedia Fans for exclusive perks and to help us keep creating.
Consider supporting. So, Bobby's World. Bobby's World was a great cartoon. This is with starring Howie Mandel, and it came on in 1990 something. Oh my goodness, this is really getting on my nerves. Bobby's World came on in some year, and so Bobby's World was also known as The World According to Bobby, but we all knew it as Bobby's World. It was an American animated comedy children's television series that aired on Fox Kids from September 1990 till February 1998. This show stayed on 8 years. Oh my goodness. It was the show followed Bobby Generic and his very overreactive imagination and how he saw the world. It was basically based off of Howie Mandel's childhood. He was a 4-year-old. It started off when he was 4, ended when he was 6. And scenes he had, well, of course, there was Bobby Generic, his father Howard Generic, his mother Martha Generic, Kelly Generic was his sister, Derek Generic was his brother, Jake and Alex Generic were his twin younger siblings. Rue Seven was Bobby's aunt. Ted Swevin was Bobby's uncle. Roger was the dog, and Webley was Bobby's stuffed toy spider. They had live action. They had this was just so well done. And it's like, if you're gonna be a celebrity and if you're going to get a cartoon, Bobby's World is what you want to get. This is exactly, it was well written, it was well acted. The animation, considering the time, was halfway decent. Um, there's not a lot of bad things that I can say about this cartoon. Um, did it run too long? Maybe. I mean, heck, The Simpsons have been on for 45 years, so I mean, whatever. Um, it was just really done well, and I'm like, well, if I'm a celebrity, and they say, Tracy, let's make a cartoon out of you, I want the writers of Bobby's World writing it because they did a really good job of putting that together. So there it is, guys. My list of, and nobody brought me any comments, although I see folks watching, of people that were in cartoons. So if you want to comment about celebrities that were in cartoons, I would greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to talk about 2026. It's going to be a big, 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 big year. As you know, starting December the 18th, I will take a break. I always take a break at the end of the year. I do not have plans on doing a New Year's Eve show so far. I don't think I'm going to do one. I've done one for the past 2 years. No, 3 years. I don't think I'm going to do one this year. So that means that the last time I go live will be December the 18th. No, let me backtrack. So I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right date. Why is it taking all the November? Yep, that's right. Saturday, December the 18th will be the last time that I go live in the year 2025. Then I will go on a break for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I will come back on, let me make sure I'm getting this date right. Tuesday, January the 20th, I will come back with the Tracy Show. Um, that will be the 20th. Then the 22nd, the Justice is Here podcast moves to Thursdays at 7. Well, let me backtrack. So the Tracy Show will come on Tuesdays at 7. The Justice is Here podcast will come on Thursdays at 7. And that'll be the first, second, and third Thursdays at 7. And then that fourth, I will do a 6 o'clock p.m. show. And then if there's a fifth Thursday, I'll fall back to the 7th. And then the Saturday show will remain on Saturdays at 2 o'clock p.m. That will not change. But there will be, and this is where my Patreon comes in, there will be a lot more exclusive things available for the Patreon that you will not get live. I have to give those who want to support me on Patreon some type of incentive for joining. Like I said, it's only $2 a month. You can go to, let me go up here. You can go, I'll leave that up there while I'm talking. So you can go right there to support me on Patreon for starting at $2 per month. There'll be polls there. There will be an exclusive Patreon show that will go there. It will only be available on Patreon. And I haven't decided what that show, like I have it down between two shows that I'm kind of working out the details of. So one of those two shows will only be exclusively available to Patreons. And then there may be some clips that I may show that on my YouTube channel. I wouldn't put money on it, but there will be an exclusive show only available to those that support me on Patreon. That will come out, I believe, on Mondays, but that won't start until February. So we've got a while for it to go to. So If you want to see that show, which again, I will have more details as we get closer to the date. It's a Patreon exclusive show. Will come on every other week on Patreon only. That will be that will just cost you $2 a month. You'll get to see it. And the good thing about Patreon is that I will know exactly who it is. And so I will be starting to give shout outs in the podcast about who my Patreon supporters are and what level they're supported at. But keep that in mind. I'm really wanting to press this Patreon support because it's going to be vital for me. I'm definitely going to need it. There's no way around it. I wish I was making enough money to do this on my own. I'm just not. And I know times are hard, which is why I'm keeping it at the $2 a month level right now. I mean, you can go up to 35, but I'm keeping it at the $2 a month, which is like what, 17 cents over 28 days. 17 cents per day over a 28-day period. My math is terrible, so pardon me. But we're going to need your support more in 2026 than years before. We're really trying to push 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 380 right now. For some reason, I keep losing subscribers. I'm not sure why, but if you all could do me a favor and tell at least 5 of your friends, that would be so wonderful. Telling your friends about this channel helps me to get to that 1,000, because once I get to at least 500, I believe YouTube lets me take super chats, which will also go towards the show itself. That will be good. But essentially, right now, the focus is getting this Patreon exclusive show out there so that the Patreons can kind of pick up. We will be starting back our Discord. The channel will have its own Discord. I'm working on that. That won't come until, I believe, I'll announce that the next episode of the Saturday show, which the Saturday show will return back at its normal time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But there's just a lot in the works to make this channel grow. We definitely need your support. I'm keeping that Patreon link up there because we need your support. It's in the description section, but I figure, oh well, you'll see it. But in case you don't, there it is right there. I just need all the help I can get. There's great things that I want to do, but I can't do them by myself. And I'm going to need your help. And any help that you can get, whether it's liking, commenting, definitely subscribe. Subscribing, if I was going to outline the top things that you could do, number one is subscribe to my channel. You can always subscribe to my channel. That is the number one free way that anybody can help. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Does not cost you anything. Number two is, of course, to support me on Patreon. Again, we're going to have that Patreon exclusive show in 2026. I've narrowed it down to 2. I just got to figure out which way I'm going to go. It will probably be politics based, so keep that in mind. So we've got big plans for 2026, moving some things around the calendar so that I can make the most impact that I can. So just to kind of give you a brief overview of this, the Tracy show will move to Tuesdays, and this is 2026, not 2025. The show will move to Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on Thursdays, the Justice is Here podcast will move to 7 p.m. the first, second, and third Thursdays. And on the fourth Thursday, it will move to 6 o'clock. And if there's a fifth Thursday, it will move to 7 o'clock. Then the Saturday show will remain at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. And then February will have the exclusive Patreon series only. Yes, you have to be a Patreon to view it. I will not send copies to my mailing list. I will not post that on my website. You can only see it on Patreon. I'll give you more details about that show on the next episode of the Saturday show. Just want to take time to thank everybody for watching this. I know you're usually at this time used to seeing an episode of the Justice is Here podcast. There are several reasons why it's not on today, but we'll be back next week. And thank you for watching. I know, we don't get a whole lot of views, but we're really trying to get that up and get word out. But again, I can't do it by myself. I can share it to every platform, and trust me, I do that all the time. But I can't do that portion by myself. I have to have your help to do that. So another way you can help, tell 5 people about the channel. Tell 5 people about the channel. If you could just simply tell 5 people about the channel, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Blue Sky, put it on your Instagram, Snapchat, Threads, any place where you use social media, post our channel link. You can also comment on past videos. Liking is a big deal. We're still going to be pressing towards our 75 likes and 45 shares. The more we are liked, the more that YouTube will recommend this channel to others. We're looking to have some really big guests next year. And I'm reaching out, and I already have one confirmed. So that's going to be big. We're going to do bigger and better things. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to need your help to get this the where it should be. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being so patient. Remember that the Justice is Here podcast will return this coming Saturday. Saturday the 13th. So we'll go from there. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for hearing me babble on and babble on. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. One more time. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next week. I'm going to do the outro. Have a good evening. And finally, welcome back, football. It's been a long time. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.
Everyone, if you enjoy our content, consider supporting us on Patreon at TRACYMedia Fans for exclusive perks and to help us keep creating.